don't have any water. Fuck. Y'all ready? You guys excited?
Let's get spooky!
Have you had like a non-stop dehydration with COVID?
Mm-hmm.
That was my worst symptom, is I would just chug and chug and chug water and I never stopped feeling dehydrated.
I almost passed out at work today. That was great. You guys ready
I see it.
for the Olympians? Hello, everybody.
Yes.
What's going on? What?
There's an ass.
that is an ass, Alex. Thank you for pointing it out. Oh, how I miss doing art history with you guys. So first up,
Introduce.
well, you know what? Whatever. That was our introduction for tonight. We got a little bit of everything.
Drinking besides maybe Mike.
Who do we got, Brandon?
Timeless water.
Yep.
Yeah, same with me. Who do we got, Brandon?
Who do we got? We got homeboy, fuckboy, god of the gods, Zeus.
Yeah, he's the king of the gods. You know, he's also the son of Kronos.
The guy who ate his kids.
And what's her face? I think is Gaia. Or no, I'm Rhea. Rhea. It's right on the screen and I can't. He's the youngest of his siblings. What?
There's a hair on my screen and I keep writing.
He's the youngest of his siblings, Hera, Hades, Hestia, Demeter, and Poseidon. And he has multiple offsprings with multiple people. And yeah, he's shacked up with a few of his siblings and even some of his offsprings. But it is what it is. Hera, his wife, you know, she's kind of a raging bitch, but you know, she's a nice girl. He likes to, you know, flirt, you know, get around, make some babies with some people that may not want to have sex with him. But it is what it is. And Hera might go down and kill some people because of it.
I hope the picture of him fucking someone as a swan is somewhere in here.
I don't know if I put that one in, but I know what you're talking about. I remember that. And then similar gods or gods that he's associated with are Jupiter, Roman equivalent, Perun, Indra, and there's so many others to choose from. And he's, of course, like I said before, the ruler of the gods on Mount Olympus, where they all reside because they are the Olympians. Next up, we got Hera. So she is the head bitch in charge. She also known as the queen of the gods. She's the goddess of marriage, childbirth, and family. She's the daughter of Kronos and Rhea. She's also one of the siblings eaten by her father Kronos, and then Zeus got them out. That's a whole story. I might do a separate presentation on that. And some of her offspring include Hephaestus, which possibly was with Zeus, but then there's another story saying that she just made Hephaestus by herself because Zeus created Athena by her popping out of his head out of jealousy or rage. Enyo, Ares, and the list goes on from there. You'll tend to notice that there's a frequent pattern with the majority of these individuals that they have a lot of children, and when they usually have children, the list goes on and on. Her mount is a chariot drawn by peacocks.
Can you see my edit?
Do we need a penis counter for Alex? We haven't had one in a while.
I feel like this is a good
I'm also just
talk for
sitting here sniffing my wine. It smells so good. This is a new one. It's blackberry Moscato.
Ooh.
It's really good.
How good is it, Alex?
I love it.
So some of her symbols include the pomegranate, the peacock feather, Alex, the cuckoo.
Peacocks. What?
Oh, that was Brandon. Brandon, stop.
The second that's orange. Orange is not my color.
I find it interesting though that one of her symbols was actually the cow.
I feel like they loved cows.
Yeah, I mean they
were
really
always
like bulls.
fucking the cows.
Yeah.
Who was the one who fucked the cow so it became the Minotaur again?
The lady.
King Minos's wife. She turned someone else into a cow because she had a relationship with Zeus. I can't remember her name, but she turned her into a heifer, I think it was. And then she traveled along the seas or whatever, and then had a relationship, I think, with Circe's son. Or
as
one
a cow?
of Odysseus. Yeah.
A relationship as a cow.
No, not as a cow. I think after she was turned out from a cow or something.
So instead of confronting Zeus, she just goes around punishing the people who... Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean that's
know,
how it
she had-
works, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if you're here for all of them, but Carly had a whole series of like the women
All the
like
women
Hera
who
like
fucked over.
yeah, and then like there's another one of like the ones that Hera like punished, which is like turning into a cow and shit.
Honestly, being a cow
There's the
doesn't
golden
sound
shower one.
that bad.
There's someone who got turned into a golden shower.
Oh, wait a second. So she was Zeus's sibling as well, and then they got married and all that jazz.
They had some babies.
There's a lot of
And-
incest.
Oh, wait, did her? Oh, I forget if it's the Roman equivalent, but didn't she have a child named Vulcan who she threw against a volcano or something like that?
I don't know that one.
I've heard of
That sounds
Vulcan.
Roman.
Yeah, it
I
sounds
feel like
Vulcan.
Vulcan's Roman.
I just wasn't sure if it had like the.
I
Greek
think Vulcan
equivalent.
is Aries for some reason.
Maybe?
No, Aries is Mars.
Oh no,
Vulcan-
it's Hephaestus.
Vulcan Hephaestus?
Yeah, Vulcan is Hephaestus because
he's the, like-
Hephaestus is also
The fire
Because-
god.
yeah
I
he
knew it had to be a Roman equivalent.
yeah, because Hephaestus is the god of metalworking, the forge, but also volcanoes. So that probably connects with Vulcan. Okay, and then Hera's Roman equivalent is Juno, as everyone knows, and the Etruscan equivalent is Uni.
And they hate Hephaestus, so I would totally believe that she threw him into a book.
I'm stupid, and you said you were reading the equivalents and said uni, and I went, "Who the fuck is uni?" And then I reread the thing, and I'm like, "Oh wait, that's an equivalent. It's Hera."
So next up, we got Aphrodite. So
Hey!
you guys all know who she is. I think Mike might need some of this in his life. She's the goddess of love, beauty, and sexuality. In the Iliad, she's the daughter of Zeus and Dione, but in the Theogony, she's actually was created when I believe Uranus was killed, but that it's like they cut off his genitals and then threw his genitals into the sea, and it was a combination of throwing the genitals into the
New
sea
threat.
and like the sea foam that made her.
She said Uranus.
I was waiting for that comment.
Also, Carly, you're right. I do need some of this in my life. I have an interesting story for later.
Kelsey, tell
Do
me
you wanna
what
share it now?
Nah.
Also,
you could say to him.
On a side note, I'm texting Nick, and I was telling him that me and Mike are the only ones drinking, and his response was that he wants me to tell Mike he's a beautiful boy.
Tell Nick to give me his exact address.
Mike, the MILF's cat looked adorable, and I hope he gave them many
Milf's
Oh,
pats.
cat.
She did. She had a really nice cat.
Where the
That's what-
fuck did we go with this conversation?
I don't
Back
know.
to cats. It came
Nope.
back around to
Cats rule the world.
Out of the story of her being from Uranus's genitals, that's what you got was just his name.
Well, yeah, she came from Uranus. A lot of horrible things have come from Uranus, I imagine.
Came from Uranus.
I mean,
Alright.
some stuff just came from mine.
I told you that's where he was.
No! All right, next. All right, so some multiple lovers of Aphrodite were Ares, Hermes, Dionysus, Poseidon. So, she kept it all in the family, but branched it out too. She also had multiple offspring with the multiple different people that I've mentioned and other people as well. Do you know Harmonia, Deimos, Aeneas? Anybody?
Deimos is a
Mhm.
moon of Mars.
Eros, do you know? I've heard of.
Yeah, isn't Eros like Cupid?
I believe so, yeah.
And Aeneas, I had to read the Aeneid, so I'm pretty familiar with that one. I had to read the Aeneid in Greek or in Latin.
Oh, yikes. In Latin, I learned nothing. So that's why our teacher got fired.
Our teacher got fired for sleeping with his students.
Very
what, though?
different reasons.
Wait a minute, guys. Look at the bottom one. Aphrodite was a birder. Doves, swans, and sparrows. She was a birder.
Yeah, birds really like her. Those are her symbols.
Yo, what's her eBird username? I'm about to slide in.
I'm about to slide out.
It's like birders are getting
Next up.
spanked in more ways than one.
All right, next up, guess who do we got? Who do you think this is, guys?
Apollo?
The other lady.
That's
Oh, I
yeah.
thought it was a lady.
I was just reading
Oh.
the meme. I just read the meme to figure out who.
He's very effeminate. It is Apollo. He's the god of oracles, healing, sunlight, knowledge, archery, music, and the list goes on from there. He was kind of the god of everything.
Jeez. All 9?
All 9 muses, yes. I was waiting for someone to see that. He know how to get it, he didn't go for 1, he didn't go for 2, he went for all of them. Some of his multiple children include Apis,
What? I just took one of those.
I'm sorry, Hector,
Philodendron.
yeah, that thing. I
Also
really like the
kind
name
of-
Mopsus though. That really takes it for me.
Let's name a cat that. Greek cat names.
Honestly, Hector is a good cat.
It could be a good name for like a goat too.
So like many other gods, he had multiple epithets, temples and cults dedicated to him. And a lot of his symbols were the lyre, the laurel wreath, the python, and bow and arrows, because I mean his sister was Artemis and he was just kind of like
Ooh,
exact opposite.
Python.
All
Oh,
right,
nobody saw me do that. That was
moving
fun.
on. Who do we have here?
Yes. Venus?
Artemis.
Yes.
Yay! We were on it, Mike.
You guys got it. It's the goddess of the
said it
wilderness, the
first.
hunt, the moon, chastity, and wild animals. And she is the first child or first person on our list today that did not have any lovers and did not have any children. Do you know how rare that is for the freaking Greek gods? She didn't intermingle with anybody. She did have a few stories where people would try to either rape her or maybe were attracted to her, but I don't believe there's ever a true story where she actually sleeps with anyone or
Was
has
she-
any children with anyone.
Was she the one who sent like her wild dogs to like kill someone who saw her like bathing or something like that?
I believe so. She also sent like a wild
She
boar
was.
after somebody. She sent a few different things. There's a few different legendary animals that are associated with her. I know the Caledonian boar is associated with her. I know one of the stories is that, what's the fucking name? Is it Callisto? It might be Callisto. She fell in love with Artemis, or she was falling for Artemis, and Zeus saw her with his eagle vision and started to fall for Callisto. So he came down and he either disguised himself as Artemis or Apollo. Majority of the time, people believe that he disguised himself as Artemis, and that's usually how it's depicted in paintings or in most literature today. So she fell in love with this version of Artemis, had sex with him, and then she ended up getting pregnant through that. So she ended up having a baby and Artemis kicked her out of her group. I think eventually Hera found out about this and Hera turned her into a boar, or no, she turned her into a bear. And then her son Arcas, when he was 16, was actually hunting his mother, not realizing it was his mother. And as he was about to kill her, Zeus took pity on them, turned Arcas into a bear, and then set them into the stars together.
Well, that was brash of him.
Yeah, that was the story of like the bears and as like the constellations in the sky.
Ursa Major and Ursa Minor.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, so she has multiple cults. One of the biggest cults is on Delos Island. That's where she was supposedly born. And then she came out first and then helped her mother Leto deliver her brother Apollo. She has multiple temples and epithets dedicated to her, and festivals include it's the 6th day of the Laphobolia, and also the Lafria was also one of the festivals for her.
Elaphobolia. That sounds like a disease. That sounds like the next big pandemic.
It sounds like what Mike just had.
Do you have Elaphobolia, Mike?
Nobody was laughing about what happened in there.
Oh god. So who do we got next, guys?
Aries.
Yes, Alex. Proud of you. So this is Aries. He's the god of courage. I'm guessing Mike. Yep. I'm not even gonna. Okay. He's the god of courage and physical act of war. So Athena
He's
is more.
broken lady over here.
Yeah, I believe that's.
I'm getting my laundry. Laundry, not poop.
Andre.
Oh, okay.
Andre.
So I believe that's Aphrodite. That's actually from a fresco from Pompeii. He's, getting the good stuff from her. He's having a good time.
It's impolite.
Yeah, he's kind of
He
slipping it
consent.
into her. But I mean, look at his eyes though.
She looks like so done with this.
All right, so some of his lovers include obviously Aphrodite, Enyo, Aegina, Atalanta,
Oh
Harmonia,
god, they're like
Calliope.
the fucking jock and cheerleader.
Yeah.
Great
I
job.
also thought this was interesting though. One of his lovers is possibly also one of his offspring. So Harmonia.
Oh, I never thought.
Phobos, Deimos he had with Aphrodite.
What that means?
We know what it means.
Nike, the list goes on and on from there. His-
Pothos, like the house plant.
Probably. He had a house plant as a child.
Gave birth to a house plant. How did that
Um,
work? Did he just shit out a house plant?
Or maybe he just was so done with his kids that he just kicked them all out and he had a midlife crisis, so he just got a plant.
Relatable.
So the way he got tribute was not like a normal god where you go to their temples, give them whatever was supposed to be given, or make sacrifices. So what they would give as tribute instead was when it came around to war, people died on the battlefield, so that was considered as a tribute, or even just warriors in general, like building up your army, that was also considered as a tribute. His symbols include shield, helmet, sword, spear, list goes on from there, pretty much anything associated with war and warcraft. And his equivalents are Mars and the Norse god Tyr. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Kelsey, do you have a threat you'd like to make this week?
Don't subscribe your balls into the ocean. That's my favorite thing we learned about today.
Alex, what did you learn about from this project or this presentation today?
I forget.
Bye.